All right, another episode of Conversate After Dark. I am Marv B. Tay, what's up with you?
Everything is good. I'm another year older, so everything's perfect with me. What's going on with you?
It's all good, it's all good. Tell people how they can find us.
You can find us at Conversate After Dark everywhere. And if you have a comment or you want to be a guest on the show, you can reach us at CVAD, the podcast at gmail.com.
You can also be anonymous,
Yes.
like our guest today. Our guest today preferred to be anonymous. So we have with us Marie from the A. Marie, what's going on?
What's going on, y'all? Thank y'all for having me. And happy birthday to Tay.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Marie lives in Atlanta, right?
Yep.
So we're going to ask you questions about the dating scene in Atlanta, your experiences. But before we do that, we have a little game we like to play. Tay, go ahead and get it started.
Okay, so we have an icebreaker. We have conversation cards, and I'm going to give you 3 categories, and you can choose which category, but we're all going to answer the question. Okay, so I have extreme personal questions, who's the biggest pervert, and the Sexy 69 After Dark.
Biggest pervert.
Okay.
I like it when they choose the biggest pervert.
Oh, wow. Okay, this is a doozy. Have you ever been involved in bisexual group sex?
Group meaning more than 2?
Yes.
Yes, I've had a threesome. So yes, I guess that would that count as group sex?
It's group sex, yes. The bisexual part, I don't know. That's up to you and what your answer is.
Okay. Yeah, I've had male on female, 2 men, 2 females. So yes, there we go.
The men were together?
No, I've had 2 men threesome,
Okay.
and then a 2 female threesome.
Okay.
So did the 2 men interact with each other, or were they both focused on you?
Both focused on me. Neither one of them were bisexual.
Okay. So I would say that one doesn't count for this question.
But
Just because they didn't.
So if I had a threesome with a female and a male, that counts, right?
Only if you and the female interacted with each other.
Oh yes, we definitely interacted.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and answer. No, I have not. It's on the bucket list. It's on the bucket. First of all, me and another guy messing with each other, I don't get down that way. I'm heterosexual, but I have not had 2 women. It's on the bucket list.
Okay.
My answer is yes, and I'll leave it at that. Unlike Marie, I'm not anonymous.
So Marie, you live in Atlanta, right? And
Yep.
I always said Atlanta has a high sexual energy. Y'all a bunch of freaks down there.
Okay.
Do you agree or disagree?
I've met some. So I would agree. I've met some freaks.
Have you been in Atlanta your whole life?
No, but I've been here probably the past 20 years.
Okay.
Speaking of freaky people in Atlanta, there's a club down there called Trapeze. Have you ever been there?
I have been quite a few times.
Oh, how was your experience?
So I have nothing but good experiences. So if anybody's curious about going, I always encourage them to go, because you can go and do absolutely nothing and chill and just have a vibe and get some food and drinks, BYOB, and just watch people. Or if you're in the mood, you can do other things. But I mean, I've gone with a couple of different people, and you got to kind of fill out. I think it's best if you go with somebody who's interested in being there and interested in seeing how it goes. Yeah, you gotta know your partner, I would say that. The first time I went, I looked like a newbie. Yeah, a woman came up to me and she was like, I could tell this y'all first time. I'm sitting up there looking all stiff with my coat on and everything. And probably about a third time, yeah, you couldn't tell that it was my third time.
So for those who don't know, Trapeze is a swingers club down in Atlanta. Um, I've been. Tay, you been there?
I have been there.
Okay, so all three of us have been. Yes, and yeah, you can go and chill, or you can play
Yep.
play as much as you want. So when you went, Marie, was it your idea to go, or was it the partner that took you? Was it his
My
idea?
idea, definitely my idea, with some lots of influence. The first time it took me a lot of influence to get my partner to go with me.
What you mean by that influence?
Like he didn't want to go. I had to keep like nudging, like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. And then, eventually he gave in. It's like, okay. I think he was more worried about who he's gonna see in there. Like a lot of people are like, oh, if I'm going to the swingers club, what if I run into somebody? But I'm like, you run into them, they ran into you. Like, who are they gonna tell without telling on themselves? So
The eyes that see me are seen as well. So you know what I mean.
exactly. And so
Correct.
we actually did one time run into somebody that he knew from high school, which was hilarious. It was a woman, she's looking over at me, and well, she's looking over at us, but I thought she was looking at me. But then she walks up and she goes over to him, and you would have thought we were in Target. They were like, hey, you know what I'm saying? But it was cool. It was cool.
So, couple questions along those lines. What made you interested in going to a swingers club?
I'm I'm probably I would probably define myself as sexually curious. And if I thought about something, I want to try it out at least once to say, hey, I tried it. I've learned since going to trapeze that I like having sex in the open. So when I go to trapeze, I haven't necessarily, well, one time, I'm not going to say that. I was going to say I haven't necessarily participated, but with others outside of the person I came with. But one time I did. But what really turns me on is being in the environment where you could do whatever, wherever. So you can get naked and you can have sex out here in the open, in the big room, or you can go in the closed room. It's just being in the sexy environment that is a turn on for me.
We need trapeze send us some few ducats because we giving them a lot of shine on this show.
Exactly.
But so are you just open in terms like an exhibitionist? You like to fuck in front of other people, or have you actually been a swinger? Have you and your partner actually swung?
No, we got close. We got so close, but he really wasn't about that life. I was really, like I say, trying to influence him to do things, and he's no longer my partner, but I was really trying to influence him to do the things that I was interested in. And he went along with it for a little while. Then, we got real close, and he was like, yeah, this ain't really for me. Like, we got real, real close. We were in the hot tub with a couple, no clothes, like real close. And then it was like, yeah, I think we're gonna go home now.
So you think you can handle watching your partner have sex with somebody else?
I think I can. So when I had a threesome, that person wasn't necessarily my partner, but I would consider him like a friends with benefits. And we all did our thing. I even took a break when I got some water, and look, them two continued on, and I was fine with it. No, he wasn't my boyfriend. We weren't in like a serious relationship, but I had thing for him. I liked him a lot, and I was cool with it. He and I, that friend with benefits, we've actually been to the club and hung out with another woman, not that one we had a threesome with, but another woman that he's been intimate with. He's been intimate with me and her, and we all three went and hung out, had a good time. And I was cool with it. It wasn't no, I mean, people are jealous, but it wasn't any of that kind of energy going on. So yeah, I think I could handle my partner watching my real partner have sex with somebody else.
So, so are you in a relationship now?
I am. I'm in a new relationship.
Okay. And have you talked to him about this lifestyle and the
He and
possibility?
yeah, he and I have been to trapeze before. We've only one we've only gone once. Like I said, it's a new relationship. And yeah, we have talked about having threesomes. When we first started dating, um, it was kind of like not really putting rules on the relationship just yet. So we were open to dating other people, and we did as such. I dated other people, he dated other people, and but then lately it just became, oh, if I had a choice between hanging out with them or hanging out with you, then we just prefer to hang out with each other. But we are definitely still open to the idea of trying alternative things.
So I hear that as y'all were poly or open when you first started the relationship,
I
or
think I would just call it an open relationship. Yeah. And I tried that with my previous partner, open relationship, and he was like, we did it for a little while, and then he was like, yeah, no. So it's like he didn't want to swing, he didn't want to have an open relationship, and I was like, this ain't working for me.
so how do you said open when I said
Mhm.
poly? Do you think that you could be poly? Because like for most people that live in the poly world, like there really are polyamorous, meaning they want multiple loves, multiple relationships, and multiple people. Whereas I think open relationships are just like, hey, I can go hang out, we can have sex, but I have my main partner. Do you think you can go to the poly side, or would you rather just keep it open?
Originally, when I started going down this road and trying to think about, different types of relationships I could be interested in, I thought about poly. Um, but now that I'm in a new relationship, I feel like I wouldn't want him to feel the way he feels about me about somebody else. So for me, I think I would prefer an open relationship because that means it's just more casual. I have my main person that, I have very intimate feelings for, and anybody else outside of the two of us, it's just casual. And I don't think I would feel threatened like, oh, he cares for that person more than he cares for me.
I get
But
that.
sex for me is just sex. I really view it almost as like, oh, physical activity. Um, I do think you can have sex without all that emotional attachment and all that kind of stuff. Well, I can. Not everybody can, but I
No soul ties for you.
can. I mean, I think that's a thing, but I don't think every person I laid down with, my soul is tied to. Absolutely not.
I get that. So you said this relationship is new. So before you got into this relationship, what was dating like in Atlanta?
A bunch of men that want to have sex and nothing else. So when I first started dating, so when I got divorced, I got on the dating apps, and I'll be on a dating app for a couple of weeks, meet a few people, jump off, try another one. And I just felt like most of the men my age, I'm 45, they just really didn't want serious commitments. Like they want to go out, they want to have fun, they want to have drinks, they want to sleep with you, but nobody was really looking for anything serious. They'll say, oh, we'll see how it goes, but if you say you'll see how it goes, I know that means that's not what you're looking for. Because if you're intentional about a relationship, you say that up front, that's what you want.
Right.
So that was my experience. It was just a lot of men that just didn't want to be serious. But I enjoyed it because it was fine. I had just got a divorce. So it was like, hey, I don't want to be serious. I had some people that was trying to FaceTime you without calling and thinking you their woman. Like, hold up, we've been on 3 dates. What are you doing? Well, what are you doing? But again, I don't think they were trying to be serious. I think they were just trying to stake territory. Like, oh, I don't want you going out with other people. I ain't trying to be your man. I just don't want you hanging out with others, kind of thing.
Why do guys do that?
I don't know. I don't know. We only got one guy up here. Why do y'all do that?
Right.
You know, they talk about the male ego is fragile. I think that's the reason why. And I'm a guy that, you know, what's the saying? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. I believe in being fair. So if I can talk to other people and, you know, casually be involved with them, then I think the woman that I'm with should be able to do the same thing. I would say that I'm an anomaly.
Definitely.
Unless people are like in the poly world, open relationship mindset. But even still, guys who say they're poly, there's this thing they call the OPP, one penis policies, to where, you know, you could be my girl and you can mess with somebody else, but the only person you can mess with is a woman. I'm the only dick you take.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not fair. I mean, some women are cool with that, but yeah, I think that's really what it is, because it takes a lot of, you have to be secure with yourself, because, you know, your lady may get with some guy and he may hit spots that you don't hit. And for us, it's all about, you know, is his dick bigger than mine? Is he making you holler more than I make you holler? And I know that's for me, that's why I can never be a swinger, because although I may be able to wrap my mind around you being with somebody else, right? I can put it into a compartment and like stow it away. Now, if I actually see it, then that memory is there, right? And I can't shake it. So
Okay.
I think that's really what it is.
So for you with the poly relationship, it's separate relationships. It's not like we gonna all do something together. It's I got this relationship over here and this relationship over there. They're not intersecting.
I think if you're in the poly world, there's just so many different type of labels, and
Yeah.
everybody poly's different. I think the poly that you're talking about, if I'm not mistaken, is called kitchen table poly. Whereas, you know, say just for example, Tay is my number one, right? But then I have Marie as my number two. I want you all to sit down and meet. And you all don't necessarily have to date one another, but you all know one another. If there's a birthday party, both of you can be present and there's no friction or anything like that. So yeah, but everybody's level of poly is different. So
Yeah. I think that's a lot of men, especially Black men, they don't want to see their woman with another person. So yeah, I have yet to experience that. Like I say, I'm interested in swinging, um, but I haven't found a partner that's like, yeah, let's do it. You know, got real close to it, and it's like, yeah, no.
I mean, I know guys that who are. I mean, I know guys that are like on the extreme on the spectrum where they just don't want to watch, and that's all they want to do is watch their woman with somebody else. I know women that are the same way, and I think it's for the women. I would say I don't understand the guy's perspective, because, like, as a guy, I couldn't do it, but from talking to the women, it's a power thing. So it's like, yeah, my man is fucking you, and he's fucking you good, but you're only getting that because I'm allowing him to do that.
Hmm.
And I get that all the time, and you only get it once if I allow it. So this is different mindsets people have.
Definitely.
But
And
I'm not the guest. You are, Marie. You got me
I
on this.
am, and I do have swinger friends, and my friends are kind of like the couple you described, where it's the girl, the female rather, can only have another female, not another man. So, or when they're swinging, no, let me take that back. They do swap, but they do same room swap, so everybody's seeing everything. Yeah. I've been to parties too where it's a bunch of couples and they just do their thing, and I admire that. and it's y'all going home and everybody's full, as I call it.
That's all right. So how long have you been into women, or is it just a situational thing?
I would say it's situational. I look at women, I find them beautiful. Um, I don't like them enough to the point where I would want to be in a relationship, but yeah, we can make out, we can do whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna eventually need a penis to enter the room. We could start out doing that thing, but eventually a penis needs to come into the room.
So in a real date, not no plastic one.
No, a real one. Yeah, a real one.
So have you ever had a situation where it's just you and another woman?
I have, and I didn't enjoy it. So I mean, I enjoyed it, but I wasn't fulfilled. So it was like, yeah, it was like I had some sides, but not the meat, and I needed the meat.
Literally.
Literally.
Okay, so when I was younger, I would say maybe teenage years, I would hear things, sexual situations or whatever, and I would think, I want to try that. And then I noticed that the girls around me were like, ew, no, I'm not doing that. So I kind of knew when I was young that I might want to explore alternative lifestyles, maybe. So for you, when did you realize that that was something you wanted to try?
Um, it was definitely not when I was younger. It's more recent, probably, past few years as I got into my 40s. I don't know what they say when women get in their 40s and their sex drive just go up, and it's just like, I don't know, you're just more comfortable with yourself. You feel more free. And so yeah, mine was when I was in my 40s. I'm like, I just want to try everything that I fantasize about or I think about. And like I say, for the most part, except for the swinging and the swapping of partners, I've done a great bit of what I've thought about doing.
So outside of all the swinging and open relationships and stuff, what's the freakiest thing you've done?
Actually, Marv, I don't consider myself a freak. Because I just like sex. I have a high sex drive, but I don't feel like I'm doing anything out of the norm that normal people do in their bedrooms. Uh, I don't know, if I was probably talking to my mom, she might think getting tied up was freaky. So look, I do enjoy that. Um, but I don't feel like I've done anything outside of threesomes and going to swingers clubs that I would consider freaky. In the bedroom, it's oral sex and it's penetration. It's not a lot of other additional stuff going on.
I get that. I always say I have some friends who make me look like a nun, and then I have some friends who make me look like the biggest freak out there. So I'm somewhere in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, I'm surprised Marvin hasn't asked this yet. What is your freak number?
Wait.
The scale.
The normal question is, I normally ask everybody on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the highest, what's your freak quotient? But the way you came out the gate, I was like, fuck that question. She a 5. But go ahead and ask.
Yeah. I was gonna leave it alone, but she just said she doesn't consider herself a freak. So that's why I wanted to know.
So on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 the highest, what's your freak number? What's your freak quotient?
I think I'm a 3. I'm a slightly above average.
The fuck? No, you are not, ma'am.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, 4.
Tell you what would you give?
I say being open to swinging and that lifestyle, I think that puts you above a 3.
Okay. We'll go with a 4.
Okay, so here's the question. I'm I'm gonna ask Tech. So say you got a woman that's she's down for threesomes. We're not talking about Marie. Woman in general, she's down for threesomes, swinging, gangbang, all that shit, right? But she's stiff as a board. She don't move. She barely suck dick. She's down to do it, but it's just, it ain't fun when she does it. We still gonna give her a 4 or a 5, or is that bump her down to a 3?
If somebody's doing something and not enjoying it, I can't give them.
She might be enjoying it. She just might not be good at it.
Oh, I don't know. That's a tough question because in her mind, I could see her thinking, well, I'm a 4 or 5, but I could see somebody else from the outside looking in, somebody else saying, no, you're nowhere near that.
She get an A for effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give her ass an E, not an A. You don't get, well, I wasn't gonna say you don't get participation trophies when it comes to fucking, but you actually do. So
Hello, princess.
Maybe she just needs training or somebody to help her be more expressive.
Mm-hmm.
So Marie, what is it about having sex in front of other people that you like?
I would say it's more like you're a movie star almost, like you put in this spotlight and it gives you the opportunity to really put on, like, hey, I'm putting on a show. People are here. People are watching me. Now, I'm a watcher. You need to watch from like at least an arm's distance. I don't want you hovering over me when you watch it. I really want you to sit back and watch. I had a friend with benefits that I would go to his house and we would go in the room and I would say, leave the door open because he had a female roommate who was bisexual. She never wanted to come in, but she would act like she going to the kitchen and then she would stand there and drink her juice in the doorway slowly. And I knew she'd do that. So I would be like, leave the door open. And then I could peek and I could see her. And it was a turn on for me.
So they can watch, but watch from afar. Have you ever thought about doing like OnlyFans or taking it to the next level since you like people seeing?
So I do have an OnlyFans story.
Hold on. This motherfucker said she had 3, and she about to say she got an OnlyFans. That's you sandbagging like a motherfucker. No, come on, man.
I said I have an OnlyFans story. I don't currently have an OnlyFans, but I had one for a week. So I don't know if y'all remember, there was this story maybe like a couple of years ago where this mom, her kids were getting kicked out of the school because they were going to like a Catholic school and they found out that the mom had an OnlyFans. So when I read that story and they were talking about how much money she was making, I was like, oh, really? People making that kind of money on OnlyFans? So my partner at the time, I was like, we need to see how much money I can make. And he was like, all right, I'll give you a week. He even took pictures for me. We took pictures. I will say in that week, I made $500 off of pictures. Like it was the craziest thing. And it wasn't even no full nude pictures. I would do like seductive, like maybe I'm nude, but I'm covered, like my hands are covering up my nipples and my leg is positioned so you can't see the vagina, those kind of things. And yeah, the men would be like, tip $20, tip $50. I'm like, ooh, this is easy money, but I'm not that creative. So after a couple of days of pictures, I'm like, I don't know what else we're going to put up here because I'm not going to go to full live porn videos. So, but it was fun. That was fun. So Marv, yeah, I'm still sticking to my 4. I'm still a 4. I wasn't like spread eagle on OnlyFans.
Hold on. Wait a minute, Tay. This motherfucker had an OnlyFans.
Right.
He anonymous with us.
And my name on OnlyFans was Real Atlanta Housewife. That was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
So now I need
People probably trying to figure out who you were.
hey, so now I need to log onto my OnlyFans account. I just told on myself and try to find them old pictures.
that was fun. It was fun.
I'm not gonna lie, when that woman came out and said she made so much money just posting her feet, I thought about it.
There's a niche.
Yeah.
Hey, I thought about it too. I was like, hey, if there's a market for big dudes, shit, I get up on that mud too. Yeah. My only thing is like, I'm not into guys, so I feel like there might be some men who like big husky dudes. Then I wouldn't know how to fucking handle it. You know what I'm saying? Like, shut the page down.
Yeah. You can't choose who subscribe to you.
Right. Their money just as green.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you know, I'm not gay, not even for pay. So we can't.
Not even for play.
Not even for pay. We can't do that. So
do you think people are gay if they haven't participated and they just had a thought about it? Like a man?
no.
No. Okay.
No. If I be honest with you, I mean, I think every guy has thought about it, but most guys thought about it, and like most straight guys thought about it and like got grossed out and was like, oh shit, nah, I don't ever want to do nothing like that. But then there's guys who think about it and they try it out. There's guys who think about it all the time and they just gay or bisexual. But nah, I don't think until you actually like suck a dick, you're not gay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you suck dick, that means you're gay?
My personal opinion. Now the question is this. If a guy does it one time and then he said, nah, I don't think I really want to do that. Is he gay in perpetuity because he actually sucked dick one time? Or was he just curious, by curious? Like how would you frame it?
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's gay just because he did it one time. Then he just tried something. Because even me, I don't necessarily consider myself bisexual. I just have had bisexual experiences. So
I agree.
I think the motherfucker gay. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? But your ass is gay. Yeah, or bisexual, however you want to call it.
Yeah,
but I think you are. I think you are.
Gotcha.
Now, I talked to a woman who's actually bisexual, and I'm asking y'all's opinion on this. I'm talking a lot, Tay. Marie done suckered us into some shit.
Right.
She motherfucker got an OnlyFans, don't want to show her face with us. It got me talking. But this friend told me that unless you are in an actual relationship with the same sex, you're not bisexual. You may just be bi-curious or have tendencies. Do you all disagree or?
I'll let you go first, Marie, since you're the guest.
I think that's kind of how I look at it from my standpoint, because I wouldn't be in a relationship with a woman, but yeah, I have tendencies. But I don't see that way when it comes to men. Because if men are having sex with other men, I don't know. I think we got a double standard. And to me, whether you're in a relationship or not, I still view that man as gay or bisexual.
I've heard that before. And I'm not sure I agree with it, because I feel like if you're engaging in like not in a curiosity way or not in like a trisexual way, but if you're constantly engaging in activity with the same gender and the opposite gender, I do think that considers you bisexual. I don't think you have to be in a relationship in order to make that. True.
Yeah, I don't know. I, there's only so much I can say about it because, like I said, I'm not into men. But um, my cousin, who is into men, and he's a man, he said the dick always wins. So whenever you got those guys who, they say, "Hey, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm just going to be with women," and then eventually they go back to it. And the same with women who get with women. Eventually they want the real thing, and it may be just a one-off situation, but they always come back.
Hmm. Interesting.
So you've been real slick, Marie. You had us talking a whole bunch. You very sneaky. Um, what is one thing that you would not do sexually?
I don't do anal sex. It's an easy one.
Why not?
I've tried it. I don't enjoy it. So I'm the kind of person when I have sex, it's for enjoyment. It's not out of obligation. It's because I want to and I like it and I enjoy it. And if there's something we're doing and I don't enjoy it, I don't care if you like it. If I don't like it, I'm not doing it. So I've tried it. I don't like it. That's it.
I get that. Is there anything you said earlier that you wanted to try a lot, so you did, but is there anything else that's left on your sexual bucket list?
Um, just the swinging couple swap. I haven't done that. Um, that's kind of like my big, like Marv says, his bucket list item. Um, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that eventually. Even if I get just convince my partner, like we just gonna do it one time, um, so I can check it off my list. See if you like it. If you don't, it'll just be a one time thing.
Do you have any concern about that having a negative effect on your relationship?
No, I think now I go into my relationships very open. Like, is he can listen to this podcast? He's not gonna hear anything that he hasn't heard. And so he is well aware of the things that I'm interested or curious about and the things that I've done. Whereas in previous relationships, I've kind of had to be, um, more reserved and not really, I wasn't really able to, or I didn't feel comfortable really expressing my desires. And when I got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm about to start expressing my desires, it kind of became the almost the tipping point and the end of the relationship. And I just feel like at this age, like we just got to be who we are, and life is short. We need to enjoy it, and I enjoy having sex, a lot of it. And my partner is well aware of that, and any partner I have, if this one doesn't work out, needs to be well aware of that. So
So are you going after guys, or are you looking for guys when you're dating them, right? Are you looking at guys who are monogamous and working to convince them to embrace your approach to relationships? Or are you dating guys who are open slash poly swingers from the jump? Because I think that may be a difference trying to convince somebody to embrace a lifestyle that they may or may not want to be a part of. Or are you getting with somebody who's already in the lifestyle to make it easier?
so my previous partner, yeah, we were just straight laced regular couple. So when I started introducing other stuff, he was like, hold on, this wasn't part of the deal. And I understand that. I'm trying to change the rules in the middle of the game. So when he wasn't down with it, it was like, okay, I get it. But he tried. He was like, oh yeah, I'm curious too. But later on, it was like, nah, I'm not about none of that. I was just doing it for you. Like we had an instance where we went to trapeze and we met a couple there and we exchanged numbers, and we ended up going out to dinner with this couple because he's like, I don't want to do anything in the club. I need to get to know the couple and then we can figure out how it goes. So we meet this couple, we go out and have dinner and drinks. Everybody's being flirty. We at a round table, so we sit in male, female, male, female. And I could just tell he was not enjoying himself. I was having the time of my life. I'm like, okay, we about to do this. The other dude said, hey, I got a room around the corner. Y'all going? My partner was like, no, we're gonna pass. We're just gonna go home tonight. And I was really upset that night about it because my thing is we met these people in trapeze. We knew what the whole point of going to dinner was to move up. Okay, we move up to the next step. You wanted to get to know him. We had dinner, we got to know him. Now what's next? But I got really upset that night because I realized that he really wasn't about this. And he was just, I don't know, almost like feeding me breadcrumbs, making me think that he wanted to try some things that I wanted to try. And he really didn't. And he went along with it way too long. And it just became a very big issue in the relationship. So fast forward, we get divorced. And when I get back into the dating scene, I specifically was dating men in the lifestyle. For a long time. I was on SDC, that's a swinger site for a lifestyle, kind of like I don't know, like a Facebook for lifestyle people. And there's everything up there. There's couples, there's singles, and it's very detailed. You can be very clear about your intentions and what you want and what you're seeking. And I think I dated about 3 guys from that site. And I eventually realized most of them just want to be in the lifestyle and do lifestyle stuff, not really want to, make you their woman. So that wasn't working out for me. So my current person, I wouldn't say he's definitely not in the lifestyle, but he's had alternative relationships. He's had a relationship with a woman who had a woman and they shared a woman. So, he got a little experience in it. So I think that fits with me, So I've gone both routes.
So for your partner now, when you all actually decide to go into the swinging lifestyle, or however you feel, however you decide to do it, have you all talked about any rules that you all may need for each other and implementing those when you go out?
We have not gotten that far. When we went to trapeze the one time, I think we may have discussed like, oh, do we need to come up with some rules? But I think we just both vibe very well together. I think we would really I don't think we would cross any boundaries that we thought the other person might be uncomfortable with. But I do think rules and boundaries are really important in the lifestyle. And my friends that I have in the lifestyle, they live by rules, like they got contracts and stuff. So like real serious, like, so I think when we get to that road, like if we decide, okay, we're going to try the swinging thing, I think we will definitely lay out some rules. Because there are people that don't kiss. Like you can do everything, but you can't kiss. For me, that can't be a rule because I don't know. I really have a hard time having sex without kissing. So we would
So
definitely have
you guys are
to.
open now, correct?
We were open, but lately we're not.
So when you were open, there weren't any rules or boundaries in place?
The rule was you have to inform the other person before you do anything with somebody else. That was our rule. It wasn't a no kissing, no doing this. It was if you are going home with someone, if you're going to sleep with somebody else, you need to let me know. That was the only rule.
So does that mean like you're out on a date with another person and
Hmm.
you all want to go to the crib or to the hotel.
Yep, shoot a text. Hey, I'm about to go to the hotel with this person. I'm about to go home with this person.
And explicitly say I'm having sex, or just say,
I mean, the text should, other than, I mean, that would be the only reason you would need to notify them, because I already know you're on a date. So why you texting me to say that? That would, to me, that would imply that.
and the purpose of that is that
For transparency reasons.
you need like a cooling off period. Like, so like, I'm joking, but I'm serious. So like, say I'm your man, right? And we got these boundaries. And I go and I have sex with somebody I went on a date with, casual sex. Is there like a cool down period where it's like, hey, look, I know you just had sex with her last night. We need to wait a couple of days before you and I do it. Is that the reason why, or is it just?
No, it was just really for transparency. Like, so I would know, or we would know where we stand with each other and with those other people. Like, oh, they've gone on a date, but there's not anything going on because they haven't gone to that level. And it wasn't a cool down period, because when we were exploring this open relationship, he was working out of town. So it made it easier for us. So it was like, he was out of town. It was like, oh, while you're there, I want you to enjoy yourself. And while I'm here, I want to be able to enjoy myself without the boundaries of, oh, I'm stuck in the house and I can't go anywhere, can't do anything, kind of thing.
Okay, so we have a game that we like to play called Nasty or Normal. So I'm going to give you a sexual situation and you tell me if for you it's nasty or normal.
Okay.
So fisting, is that nasty or normal?
For me, I would say, I don't do it, but it can be normal.
Okay. Would
So,
you do?
so normal doesn't mean that I do it, or
No.
I just consider it a normal thing.
Yeah, it's what you consider it to be. So you don't have to have done it or even want to, but what you consider it to be.
I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna make that one nasty, because I don't want y'all trying to give me a 5 after we get off this show.
You already got that damn 5. What did Looney say? I got 5 on it. You got 5 for sure.
I'm gonna
I
say
don't
that.
know. I don't know if I can give her a 5.
No 5 yet.
Well, she said she don't do it in the booty.
There we go. This is my saving grace.
4.75.
Next question.
4.75. Tay, is that nasty? Fisting?
To me it is. I wouldn't do it. I'm not trying to ruin myself, so no.
What makes it? Is that why? Because is that why it's nasty?
Yeah, for me, I don't even want anybody even trying something. Yeah, not a man's fist. Definitely not. No.
Yeah. I had an opportunity to do that, and I put it out there. I punked out, just because my thing is like, once I do that, like, what's next? How can you bounce back? Because I don't think there's any guys whose penis is like the size of a full-grown man fist, an arm going up in there. Then I thought about it, I was like, well, damn, babies come up out of there. So, it still could be the thing, but I don't know. I guess if I had the opportunity to do it again, I'd probably try it. But I think that gives you a 5.5 if you fisting. You fisting, you over the scale. You
Now,
way more than a 5.
I will say, even though I said I don't want to ruin myself, I was joking, because I do know that the vaginal canal is like a rubber band. It will come back to its normal size. So I don't think you would have to worry about the feeling after doing it to somebody.
I don't know. I think this is the first. both of us and the guests are like, yeah,
Yeah, nah. Mm-mm.
this is a first. This is the first. This is the first. Well, Marie, we really appreciate you. I mean, you've been very fun, very forthcoming and open, no pun intended. And hopefully we can get you back on the show, maybe not anonymous, or if you give me that OnlyFans link, you can start.
It's shut down. It's shut down. But I've had a great time with you all. I don't feel like we have enough time. We could talk all night. So I'll
Yeah,
definitely come.
yeah, we could. Well, maybe we have you on when we have a couple other people on. So, Priest, maybe you can bring your partner on. Once y'all go ahead and y'all do the do or whatever, y'all can come and give us the details and
Tell
everything.
y'all how our experience was.
And I hope for the best for y'all. You know, it sounds like you're happy. Hopefully y'all can keep that going and both of y'all be fulfilled and happy with all of your sexual desires.
Thank you.
Tell you another good one.
Yes, another good one.
Tell people where they can find us.
You can find us at Conversate After Dark everywhere. And if you would like to be a guest on the show and you can be anonymous, you can reach us at CVAD, the podcast at gmail.com. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe and comment on this video.
All right, we'll holler at you next time. Peace. I'm gonna give him a black power fist.